It's not an easy time, and the world is in a troubled place. And well, unfortunately, the world is being led by some very sick people. I think for many, many years we've been at not at a tipping point, but every year we get closer. And once we get over that tipping point, then it all changes. But at the moment, the fossil fuel industry and certain presidents around the world are driving completely the wrong agenda. And I think the most important thing to do is, I don't mind saying this to you guys, I think the mere fact that Donald Trump is pushing the coal industry so big in America, he has blood on his hands.
Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. Prince Harry has been pranked by Russian YouTubers, Vladimir Kutsinov and Alexei Sikharov. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, they were pretending to be Greta Thunberg and her father Savant, and they put a cartoon over it, and you just heard the audio. That sure sounds like Harry to me. Okay, that sure sounds like Harry. And let's read this. Po-faced Harry pointed out that marrying a prince or princess isn't all it's made up to be. Those are words straight from Meghan's mouth. Okay, that's something that Meghan, says. That's Meghan's defense for why she blew it so bad being in the royal family. During this call, Harry was offered a ride across the Atlantic on Greta's catamaran with her hippie friends, but warned that they would all be smoking cannabis. The pranksters even brought up Harry's past drug use. In one toe-curling exchange, the Duke failed to spot the jokers wanting to ship penguins, which are native to the South Pole, all the way to the North Pole. Okay, phew. He seemed really childish to me. One of the things that he said that really bothered me was that the world is run by there's a lot of evil people running the world. Harry is in the highest circles. He knows these people personally. He rubs shoulders with these people, and he's speaking of them like they're two-dimensional people. Is he talking about, people in his own family as like two-dimensional people? It's very strange. Piers Morgan branded Harry's hoax phone call with Greta one long whine and says it confirms his worst fears about the woke royal. Apparently becoming woke is just turning your brain off and completely ignoring everything you know about reality. He was in a position of tremendous power and influence, and now he's trading it for what? To be the house husband of Meghan Markle, who is trying to be an actress again? Here, let's read some more. He was a victim of Russian pranksters who, in the course of an hour, in two separate phone calls, they called him twice, charmed, cajoled, but ultimately invited him to speak out about things a wiser Harry would never have been drawn into. Not even basic security checks were done before the Duke was telling the pranksters about his struggles over his exile from the royal family. He really sounded to me like he was drinking the Kool-Aid, that he's all in with Meghan at this point. His disdain for his uncle Prince Andrew, and in a potentially explosive intervention, diplomatically accusing Trump of having blood on his hands. He accused Trump of having blood on his hands. Is this going to kick back on him? He's moving to California. Meghan said, I won't live in America while Donald Trump is president. Well, I got bad news. Donald Trump is probably going to be president for 4 more years. Just watch what Biden is doing. He just challenged an auto worker to a fight because he asked him about Biden's plans to take their guns away, violate the Second Amendment. In a series of astonishing admissions, Harry admitted he was completely separate from the royal family and chose to withdraw from royal life to protect my son. You're not protecting your son by doing this, okay? And where the heck is Archie? And again, that sounds to me like he's drinking the Kool-Aid and he's completely with Meghan. He was an unwitting subject of a series of jokes during the two calls. At one point, he was tricked into offering to help a fictional island called Chunga Changa, which the prankster said was being exploited by mining companies close to the U.S. president. Chunga Changa is the name of a Russian children's song about a tropical island that doesn't exist where it's always summertime. A lot of disturbing stuff about this. Let's just take a look at this. Let's just take a look at what's going on, because this is leading me to believe that Harry, I do see Harry and Meghan together, sticking together. I do see Harry being unfaithful, wandering off and trying to get some emotional separation from Meghan. So let's look at this fake interview. Harry, and the Practical Jokers. What's going on? Let's just take a look and see what we see. Harry and the Practical Jokers. These two guys pretending to be Greta Thunberg and Svante, the father. Because that sure sounds like Harry to me. And I'm wondering if he's going to deny it, because that's the obvious. You just deny it and make them prove it. Harry. There's Meghan right in the middle. Oh, wow. And the Jokers. There's a Joker. Harry and the Jokers. So with the Jokers, we got Earthquake. Terrible result. Exposing everything. The exposure of Harry's opinions is this is really going to be bad for Harry. And it's creating a big change, a big negative change for Harry and Meghan, because Harry's spouting off, thinking he can trust this person. 11, 3 clubs. This talk, this conversation is really going to blow up in Harry's face. Well, again, it might drive Harry and Meghan apart, might drive Harry back to the royal family, or, I think he's damaging himself so much. People are predicting that Harry will return to the royal family, but then he'll go and live in Africa, which, he'll be out of the public eye. He can redeem himself by doing good works in Africa. And that's actually a good idea. That actually makes a lot of sense, rather than just, appearing everywhere as Harry again, single Harry. What's going on with Harry? Very overly emotional. Get woke, go broke. This is a card that always shows up for Meghan. Now here it is for Harry. Here's the woman. He's infected by Meghan's overly emotional talking. 24, 6 spades. The bad relationship. Broken chalice. Breaking with the woman and overly emotional. Breaking. Okay, yeah. And this breaking and overly emotional is like he's not in control of himself. He's not in control of his own emotions. Meghan is controlling his emotions. He's not in control of his own emotions. And it's a really toxic situation for him. Underneath, we have fence sitter and roses. Again, this adds 2 spades. So Meghan is controlling him to the point that he's like not himself at this point. Reacting and just saying these sweet words, just mouthing these sweet words. He also used bumper sticker words, tipping point. This is an algorithm, the tipping point. Okay, and I think Greta Thunberg is repeating this phrase, tipping point, all the time. We're reaching the tipping point. How dare you? But the largest polluter on planet Earth is by far China right now. China. Nobody's doing anything about it. That is pure hypocrisy, and hypocrisy is evil. So he said, the world, Harry, someone who goes in the highest circles and will personally meet all of these people and shake their hands and talk to them as people. He said the world is run by some very sick people. Who is he referring to? He knows these people. Is he referring to Andrew? I mean, is he referring to members of his own family? This is childish talking. This is something that Meghan would say, because Meghan doesn't. Now she kind of has had a chance to personally know these people, but Harry grew up in these circles, and he interacts directly with these people. He interacts with Soroses. Okay, he mustn't see them as two-dimensional paper cutouts. They're real people. Is he referring to people in his own family? I mean, what is he talking about? Because we have the whole Andrew scandal going on. It's just childish. It's like he's reduced to a 2-year-old. And that's the problem I have with people like Ocasio-Cortez. Okay, no one is against being responsible with the earth, but I'm absolutely terrified that someone as stupid as Ocasio-Cortez could have a hand in making these decisions. It's absolutely terrifying. And it's terrifying that someone like Harry, after what he said here, could possibly influence this conversation. Just put him in the corner with a sucker and a rattle. Okay, I don't want to hear his opinions on climate change because he's just so dumb. He's so dumb. It's incredible. It's shocking. And it's really going to blow up in his face. I'm not the only one, listening to this and thinking, wow, I thought you were a whole lot smarter than this, Harry. And you sound like a petulant 2-year-old. And, Piers Morgan is like, he's just whining. He is just whining. There seems to be no connection with reality, what the things you're saying and what you know. How do you not know a whole lot more and speak a lot more intelligently about these things? Okay, is he talking about his own family? King, royal family, water into wine, connected through the royals and renewal. 23, 6 clubs. This is a family card. This is royal family and cutting off from the royal family. He's just emotionally complaining about leaving the royal family. Yeah, this is 10 diamonds, executioner. I'm leaving the royal family. I'm really upset about it. Cutting away from the royal family. Water into wine. His opinions have changed about the royals and about the powerful people in his family. His opinions have changed. Meghan is just absolutely controlling him. It's very disturbing. And it's like she's broken his mind. She's like cracked his mind. Like in The Matrix, that guy with, what's his name? It's not Neo, it's the other guy. I forget his name, who was training Neo. And they had him in the chair with all the things on his head, and they were like breaking into his mind, hacking his mind. That's what's happened to Harry. What is his name? Romulus or something. It's not Romulus. Neo and okay. Anyway, it's not Trinity. Does Harry actually believe we're at a tipping point for climate change? Okay, because 10, 20 years ago, Al Gore, who actually won the election, he was talking about how we're all reaching the tipping point of climate change and all this, scary evangelistic stuff. None of it happened. None of it happened. I remember that very well, and I was alarmed. I was stupid enough to be alarmed and, watching all that stuff, and I'm like, oh, Al Gore's a great guy, and it's the same thing. Now it's Greta Thunberg, So does Harry believe we're actually at a tipping point? Well, we got the no card. We got the yes card and the no card. Oh, that's interesting. So we got the yes and the no. Everything working together, yes and no. 12, 18, 21, 6 hearts, influencing the people. So yes and no. Angel virtue signaling, committed to virtue signaling and out and spreading this out. 21, 6. We have 6 hearts both times. This adds 6 hearts, this adds 6 hearts. Karmic relationship. He's working the relationship. Does he believe we're at the tipping point? No. But yes, he's an influencer. He's working everything together to influence through the relationship. He's creating a relationship. He believes that this influence is very powerful, and it is. Al Gore has made a career out of this. Okay, and he's a speaker on climate change. And maybe that's where Harry is going. He wants to be the Harry Greta Thunberg. Okay, the same level of intelligence as a child, Greta Thunberg. And that's why I have a problem with Greta Thunberg. No one has a problem with, being responsible with the earth. It is absolutely our job to be responsible with the earth. But why are we listening to a child? A child who literally doesn't know anything and is just a puppet for globalists. Why are we listening to a child? It doesn't make sense. And now Harry is talking like a child. So virtue signaling, committed to pulling the relationship, the close relationship and virtue signaling, and the world is sick. So this says to me, does Harry believe we're at the tipping point? Not really. It's all about influence. It's all about virtue signaling and working the power of that relationship, working everything together in the relationships to create a movement. That's what he's doing. He's a false messiah. It's a false messiah complex. Harry makes the statement that Trump has blood on his hands for supporting coal. Okay, the United States has the largest coal reserves in the world, I think. Okay, and to put all those people out of business, again, we're all for a clean earth. And just go to Thailand, okay, and you will see the pollution come down from China, and it is shocking. And there is nothing like that in the United States. Nothing at all like that. Go to any third world country, and I did mission work in the third world, and you will be shocked by the raw sewage being dumped into the sea. You will be shocked by even Thailand. There's raw sewage in the gutters. You step over the gutters, you're stepping over raw sewage. And when you go to the beach, it's flowing right into the ocean. And the Thai people don't swim there because they know. Only the stupid tourists are swimming there. You're swimming in sewage, raw sewage. That's the third world. You have no concept of what filth is until you travel in the third world and how good we have it in the United States. We are not the problem. So why are people like Harry and Greta Thunberg screaming at those who do the most to keep the environment clean? He said Donald Trump has blood on his hands because of his support of coal. What's going to happen? How is Donald Trump going to respond to this? Is he just going to ignore it? Because, Meghan has also said many things against Donald Trump. She wouldn't attend the meeting for Donald Trump, which is really dumb, because that's news. If Meghan attended, Donald Trump went to the palace and met with the Queen, and Harry was there, and if Meghan won't speak, is there in the place, in the palace, and won't speak to Donald Trump, that's news. If she goes up to Donald Trump and smiles and is very polite, that's news. No matter what she does, it's news. And the only thing she shouldn't do is stay away, and that's what she did. So what is Donald Trump's reaction? He's been very measured. He only said, I didn't know Meghan was a nasty person. He didn't say Meghan was a nasty person. He said, I didn't know Meghan was a nasty person. And look at Biden. Biden just challenged a guy to a fight because he asked him about his gun control policies, which an auto worker, and that auto worker, absolutely, it's his job to ask Biden about his gun control policies, and it's Biden's job to explain those policies, which he didn't. And to get all upset and act like a juvenile is absurd. And then he shushed his female helper, his female assistant, this very intelligent, college-educated, very competent person, maybe more competent than Biden, and he's shushing her like she's a child. Why aren't the feminists going wild about that? They should. Is that a double standard? Sure looks like it. Okay, what is Donald Trump's response? Conflict, finger of God coming from outside, actions, 6 and 7, 13, 4 hearts, the people close to you. He's not happy about it, and he is going to do something about it. Player, it's a one-off over a long period of time. Hamster wheel, player and hamster wheel, 21, 6 hearts. So the relationship is kind of bad, but he's not going to do anything in particular. He might do like something. He'll take advantage of an opportunity, but he's not going to be punitive. But you know, Harry's going to have to ask for the ability to stay in the United States. All right, I want to ask about Meghan's recording device. People are saying that Meghan had her cape on her green dress flipped up, and she had a recording device underneath. Other people are saying it's padding. Okay, because she's wearing, you know, in some of her other dresses, she was wearing what it appeared to be butt padding. You know, she's kind of shameless. And maybe, so it was either a recording device or padding. So if it's a recording device, I want to see deception. That would be pretty foolish. The whole thing is recorded already, but she would get conversations that on that device that we would not see in the public, you know, that the public cameras would not get. So was Meghan wearing a recording device under her green dress? Goodness gracious, that's a deception card. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Well, people were... So I'm looking for deception. I got two of the worst deception cards. We got Devil and Snake. These are two of the worst deception cards. So was Meghan wearing a recording device under her green cape dress? Crossroads. Speaking with a forked tongue. Divided. 23, 28, 7 spades. Secretly, she's a devil, and this is deeply rooted. She just couldn't help herself. Being duplicitous. So, absolutely yes, she was. How disturbing. How disturbing. How disturbing. And she's smiling and smiling and smiling, and people are saying, wow, that smile is getting a little strange, and they're calling it like the rictus smile, like a smile that's frozen on her face. Okay, so she's doing very devious things. It's very deeply rooted. She'll do anything. The devil is very childish, doesn't think it through, doesn't really have a plan, will just do nasty things. So, and it's done in secret. Yeah, she was being absolutely duplicitous. Underneath, we have Mother Earth and mustard seed, 13, 4 hearts, planting the seeds in the earth. Yeah, so the seeds of destruction are planted. Mustard seed can be a message. She was definitely, that was a recording device. That was some kind of trick that Meghan was playing. Meghan was being very devious and deceptive with that green dress. That was a recording device or something very similar to a recording device. Something that she was doing to gather intel. Yeah. So probably a recording device. Very disturbing. All right, so Harry and the jokesters. Harry's being completely controlled by Meghan, and it's like his mind is broken, and now he's reduced to be like a child and saying these silly things. With the jokesters, this is really gonna hurt Harry. This is gonna play out for a while, and the exposure of these ridiculous, childish opinions. And the thing that bothers me is that Harry is like disconnected from reality. He knows better. These people, these events, the things and how things work, he knows more about this than most other people because of the circles that he's grown up in and that he talks to. So to speak about them like he's a child, like these are two-dimensional concepts, is very disturbing. I was in government. I was at high levels of government. I know these people. Okay, they're not two-dimensional people to me. I've seen things that other people who were never in government have seen. I know very intricate, manifestations of evil and backstabbing and politicking. I've lived through it. I'm not going to speak about those things in two-dimensional form. Harry lived through these things. He knows all kinds of stuff at the highest levels, and then to speak like a child, it's just absolutely disturbing. Reacting to the sweet, yeah. So he was trying to make a good impression on Greta Thunberg, who was not on the line. But this is going to be really bad for Harry, and I'm not going to, rejoice over that. That's just how it is. it's sequential. Now he's saying people are very sick. Sick people are running the world. What does he mean by that? Well, he's very emotionally upset at his family right now, and he's just acting out. And it's coming out in his speech patterns. He's leaving the royal family. He's very upset about it. You could see it in his face. Nothing wrong with being upset about that. Does he believe we're at a tipping point? Not really. He believes it is very powerful to tell people we're at the tipping point and that the world is very sick. And he's right. That's the false messiah complex. Okay, Donald Trump, blood on his hands for supporting coal when the United States is the largest coal producer in the world. This is a very minor conflict, but Trump is going to remember, and he's going to do something very small, tit for tat. Was Meghan, and this is one of the most disturbing, did she have a recording device under a green dress, as people say, or was it a pad? No, it was a recording device. This is a really wicked spread. She's definitely up to something. So, very disturbing. That's disturbing. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Thanks to all those who have purchased me a cup of tea. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment.